Hello, hello. God damn it, it is early. How's everyone doing out there? Peasant chat. That's right. We're doing the peasant chat on a Sunday morning. Today was especially tough because I couldn't really sleep last night. I have trouble sleeping in general. Everyone told me to get melatonin and this and that. And honestly, like when the brain starts firing like at 9, you're fucked. Like I know it's going to be a late night. So then I take like a Benadryl to knock me the fuck out, and it doesn't work until way late, and then I get a nice case of brain fog nice and early in the morning, which I'm in the middle of, so I got myself a little Dunkin' Donuts to try to get over that. Today, what we're going to talk about is the disassembly of the transmission out of Donnie's car. So I uploaded 2 videos, one on Friday, one on Saturday morning. The Friday one was just to get you a quick update as to what's happening. You know, not to like go hardcore into the intricacies of what caused the transmission not to have any forward or reverse. And then on Saturday, we released, me and Tony, we released the long form version. Now, the long form version is basically an interview with Jake, and I think that's the only way I can get him to talk on camera. When you put him in his element, okay, there's certain people that don't like sitting down and just riffing off the cuff in front of a camera. Some people like to talk about what they know best while they're doing it, and I think Jake is one of those people. So I said, let me get this opportunity to interview him while he takes apart Donnie's transmission. And you saw what caused one of the valves, actually the valve that's responsible for the fluid actually making it in and out of the pump and to the converter, to fail. A small little thin, what looks to be wire brush got in there. Now we'll talk about how that might have gotten in there, but the chances, think about this, guys. What are the chances that a failure of like that happens to the guy that happens to have one of the more visible Mustang specific related channels like on the planet? It is one of those crazy, like 1 out of a billion, that out of anyone to have this type of failure, it ended up being the guy that is going to more than likely highlight it. So I didn't see it as a bad thing. It's going to cost me thousands of dollars, not necessarily because of the rebuild. The rebuild, legitimately, Jake would have done it for nothing and some clutches. But while I'm in there, let's upgrade everything. Get you a video on everything being upgraded. Now I don't have to like wait until the transmission blows up before I fix stuff, and it costs less money. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
You know, it does suck. You know what doesn't suck? Is having people that have your back like DNA Performance. DNA Performance, DNAPperformance.com, the online parts house sponsor of the show. Get all of your new parts over at DNA High Performance. PMAS, Nick James, PMAS, the best cold air intakes on the planet. Nobody else even compares. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about anything. PMAS makes the best cold airs. 149s, 120s, NA or boosted. Check them out for your cold air needs. PartsFarm.com, your used Mustang source. So, motors, transmissions, wheels, tires, body parts, you name it, anything used, hit up PartsFarm.com. Let him know that I sent you. You might get a bit of a discount. 2 Auto Solutions, he might get my GT500 motor. I'm at the point of potentially shipping him all of the remnants of the GT500 motor and give him a shot on building a Bellac. Bellac Industries, the best wheels. If you want to let everyone know you're moving some weight and you know you're in the corner and you're whipping the pot, making sure that people don't spin the block and that the ops don't catch you lacking. Yes, that is their official. That is the official way they kind of talk about their wheels. And also richprints.com, /collections//YDBT, FCAM Rizzy shirts, Amory, Dolo, Hush Money, Section Hate shirts, all different fonts, long sleeve, short sleeve, hoodies, different colors. I'm going to buy like 2 or 3 Amory and 2 or 3 YDBT red shirts for myself. I still have to order a shirt for the winner of last week's giveaway, so I gotta remind myself to do that before the show ends. And as always, if you want to become a Patreon subscriber, look up YDBT on Patreon. I'll be there. What that means is $15 a month gets you access to me, chats, for sale chats, you know, little behind the scenes things, but more than anything, it is a direct line to me. instant message, your concerns, comments, no tune support. Again, guys, I cannot do tune support on the side. That's literally something that can get me fired. If you guys hit me up and say, look up ticket number, blah, 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 let me know what you think. We got to do that in the ticket system. Leon Phelps, Joe Swish, Robo Style, Josh Roy, Bilovesh, Mini Bike Madman, Joe Swish, EPA, Nick, Bonnie 540, Coyote, Kelly, Z303, Kemzilla. Craig Wall says he's dropping a like and he's going to see everyone at World Cup Finals because he's going to be hired as he's driving his buddy's big black cock twin titty Camaro. Wow, interesting that they hired you for that. But good for you. Hopefully you get some test runs in. I'm sure you know what that feels like because big blocks just hit a little different than a small block, no? But I guess when you've gone bottom sixes or low fours, it kind of is what it is. Clean out of DGT, Phil Fez, Cody Jones, Michael Rodriguez, Mr. Corvette. He just took out his Corvette exhaust. He's like, bro, you weren't kidding. It was extremely difficult. Rocco Zioli, Douche Did It, Jared Wells, Clint Stroke, Leon Phelps, Mark Christensen, Brian 03 Cobra. Oh my God. Bryson Witt, thank you very much for dropping the links. Matt Oliver, Gregory Upvich, Sam Morales, Justin Sloan, S197. If it's a 10 or 80, you're a non-drive motherfucker. Mango Brain, Peter Chow, Glassroot Coyote, Daniel Nux, Nathan E, Cornfed, 10 or 80, Eddie Howard, Bowman, Scott Andrews, Twitch, FPV, Bud Moment, Car Guy, Mike, EGG, Josh Muji, S550, Mike S, Borges, and all the usual tall starlight. It says Walgreens and what? Walgreens cold analogy works like nothing else. It really does. Like it's really. I'm telling you, once you take some off-brand BS, you really have a good time. Okay. So, you guys saw the video, hopefully, of me disassembling, or me talking to Jake and interviewing Jake as he disassembled the 6R80. The reason I lost forward and reverse is because of debris in the transmission. Now, you wouldn't think debris is a big deal. And a lot of you go, but Alex, didn't you just have a converter installed? Alex, who are you going to blame? This one, I'm not really going to place blame on anybody, but at least it shows you what can happen if there is, let's just say, for example, debris in the converter. Let's say the Circle D converter had a little bit of debris in it. A wire brush got in there from manufacturing, whatever. And then you put it in. And once it's in, it's circulating fluid in and out of it, during the lockup, all this stuff. So after a lot of that going back and forth, it releases, well, potentially could be some debris that was in it and makes its way to the valve body. Now remember, when you put something in from the pump side, the filter will not see it unless it works its way through the transmission first. You understand? The only way that can get in there is if it's part of the filter itself. Let's say the inner parts of the filter failed and made its way into the transmission, but the filter's brand new. We took it apart. We didn't see any failures. So where would a wire brush come from? Well, it could have been, and again, I'm not going to place blame, but it could have come from any places. Could have been during install, could have been at the factory where Circle D was putting the converter together, or it could have been, over at Thunder. But a wire brush just making its way in there is highly unlikely. Or let's just say it could have been done when the transmission was rebuilt back in the day. But again, once you flush out the fluids, put a new converter in there. Remember I said on the chat, once you do a service on a transmission, which is basically a filter and fluid, I'm like, it's going to wash out stuff because now there's new fresh fluid in there and it could introduce variables. If they could have literally pumped the pan full of fluid and a bunch of bristles, none of those bristles would have gotten into the transmission because it has to go through the filter. The filter did not fall off because the filter was still in place. We suspect it came from the pump side. So what do we do about that? Honestly, nothing. Now, someone like me that has the resources, someone that has access to great people like Jake, having a Rolodex of reputable people that are good in the industry is extremely, extremely desirable. So the fact that I have the guy from Department of Boost, now I didn't really know him that well until we had like a 2-hour phone call. And I'm like, this guy has an engineering mindset, kind of like Doc Brown from Back to the Future, kind of wild, kind of all over the place, but his brain is extremely active. And when you feed him problems, he has to solve them. So when I floated some ideas of his intercooler, his heat exchanger, fixing the ice tank, being airbound, he was coming up with solutions left and right. And I go, this guy might be good to, talk about the bell housing stuff. Jake, on the other hand, is such an expert on the 6R80 and 10R80 transmissions. Now, maybe you don't hear Jake go out of his way to promote the 10R80 transmission. Does he build them? Yes, he doesn't think going the extra step of clutches, extra clutches, thinner steels, like really going into the matrix of the 10R80 is worth it because he doesn't think the programming is up to snuff. Now, the 6R80, completely different. There are parts that fail. Intermediate shaft, forward planetary, drum balloons, and a one-way reverse, all that stuff can be seen as failure points. So he's like, well, I can make hard parts out of this one because I see stuff that can fail and I can improve upon it. On the 10R80, mechanically, you can't really improve upon it all that much. It's already kind of a clusterfuck with a bunch of gears in there. And, you know, the more clutches you put on it, that doesn't necessarily make it hold any better because you don't have a lot of surface area unless you like do custom drums, custom steels, custom stuff that maybe brings the gear ratio down from, or the gear amount from 10 to like 8. But at the end of the day, you know, he doesn't see any meat on that bone. So I hope that you guys saw how knowledgeable he was because I was asking questions like, can this fail? What happens if a lead frame fails? What happens if the forward shaft fails? What happens if the one-way reverse fails? What causes one-way reverse failure? What does the parking pod do? All this stuff. How can you tell a F-150 transmission 6R80 from a Mustang 6R80 transmission? And he was like, very simple. 2 shifter cable bracket locating casts. So the F-150 has a shifter cable attachment higher and the Mustang is a little lower. So that's how you can tell it's a Mustang 6R80 because F-150s don't have the Mustang shifter cable location casted into the transmission. I didn't know any of that, but I hope that you guys caught that in the video because I think it's important to educate. And again, I got a huge education out of it. It's going to cost me some money, but I don't mind. So the next video coming up will be tomorrow. It's already in the queue, ready to go at 4:30 p.m. And it is Jake talking at length as to what parts they upgrade, how they upgrade them, and what the purpose of those parts are, and you know how they fail and all that stuff, and a rundown of Donnie's transmission. So I'm already starting to get that process of really making this car robust. So after the transmission goes in, well, we're gonna have to probably deal with suspension, and I'm probably gonna go with the suspension that Kilometers talked about on this chat, where it's a Team Z anti-roll bar bolt-in version. And if I'm there, might as well get the Team Z upper control arm and lower control arms, and then tell Thunder, install this and we're good to go. Then I can get 15s on it. Then I can really start messing around with stuff, maybe a trans brake, a 6R stager, really set it up for success once it gets supercharged. So I'm hoping at that point that this thing is going to be like an 1160. It's nice and cool. It's 70, you know, that's cool for us. 70, 75 out there in the day. In the morning, it's in the 60s. So I have about 3 months to get all this stuff done. I have 4 or 5 months before I actually run out of time, and then I have to wait another 6 months to get you that. So I'm going to rush. Donnie's going to be at the forefront. It's going to be transmission. It's going to be suspension, drive shaft, everything. And then we're going to try to get a blower in it sooner than later. It's not going to be easy, but I'll do my best to get you guys as much data before it gets hot. Get this thing into the 9's stock motor, then get it into the 9.0's with a built motor that I already have procured. It's just a matter of doing all the work that's going to be coming up. So no dating, no fucking around, maybe some side chick, some side puss, but now I'm not spending time on anything because the business has to go and it is crunch time right now. Twitch FPV says, somehow metal shavings from the failed keyway made its way to the trans shame. Now, if you've noticed in that video, let me take a sip of this coffee. Oh, yeah. I started saying, Jake, do you think it could be from this? So I was pointing at the pump. If, let's say, you're engaging the converter, and the converter has 2 locating keys, and the pump has 2 receiving keys, and the pump and the converter turn as one. If in that process of you turning it to get it to seat, if you maybe, nick the pump a little bit and it has a bit of a shaving come off, that's why I kind of laughed. Now, I wasn't blaming the install. I'm like, but can it come from this? Because that's the last thing that happened. And he's like, I don't even want to say. Because I think Jake was saying, I think it had to do more with like trash in the converter. Now, I would have never thought that a brand new converter needs to be flushed out before it gets installed. But guys, at this point, let's be honest. Based on my experience, You should flush your converter regardless of if it's new or not. I think it should be common practice now that when you get a converter, torque converter, aftermarket torque converter, or any torque converter, you should flush out anything in case something drops in it while you have it on the bench before you put it back in. I think it should be totally flushed out. Whatever method you want to flush it out, do your best, because it wasn't an immediate failure. It took 2 weeks for it to make its way into the most crucial valve there was. Are you sending the converter back to Circle D? Hate to see you have more shit get into the rebuild trends. No, I'm not going to send it back to Circle D because I'm going to flush the shit out of it. I'm going to do my best to really get it out of there, get all the old fluid out, put it in a pan, and see if anything comes out. That would be on the install side. I don't want to send it back to Circle D because now it's going to potentially retard the process another week or two. I think it's just a matter of trash being in the converter or the install. Nobody really knows. Great teardown video and explanation of the 6R80. I look forward to the upgrade parts and selection for the rebuild. Wow, that little pube jacked up the 6R. What's up, Alex and everyone? Says Nardi Mercado. Turbo 400 laughs at debris. That's the thing, right? Like the turbo, but there's still a valve body in there. Is there not valves actuating in and out? Anything with debris that makes its way in there is not going to be a good time. Minibike says 145,000 in my 6R on my F-150. Thing is like butter. Bullhead 360s. That's why I don't do trans flushes. Drop pan, change filter, and refill. Keep it simple. That's what they did. They dropped the pan, they replaced the filter, and put it back on. That's what they did. Matt Oliver says, yes, exactly. With the higher mileage trans, it's not a bad idea to add some friction modifier after a fluid change. It can help when you encounter slipping clutches. Coyote Kelly says, you're definitely unlucky with stuff like this, just like the ZR1 intercooler brick. Now, listen, the failures that have happened to these cars, none have been my fault. How can you blame me for this? I send the motor out, GT500, an inept that I thought was legit motor builder was charged me 12 grand to put pistons in. Let's be honest. That's the gist of it. Then the ZR1 goes to get a transmission put in. It takes 3 months to get that done. Blows my mind. Then whatever. Then it gets sent over to LMP. They check it over. They dyno it on flex. Comes back. First thing I smell is it smells like coolant. So the intercooler brick would have failed from somewhere in that point, right? Like this is not me. So I'm like, okay, drive it a little bit, do one watt pull, it blows up, which is mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing. But again, what are you going to do? They're not going to say, well, my bad, what's the fix, right? Nothing. They're going to be like, it sucks. Yeah, it sucks for me. Like, I'm the one that gets fucked out of this situation, but what are you going to do? Like, blame this guy, blame that guy? No. Then, put a converter in that was sent to me by Circle D. 2 weeks later, the transmission decides to not have any drive or reverse. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But imagine if you were just a regular guy and this happens to you on your only vehicle and you can't afford, because how much is it to take let's say you don't have the facilities, the know-how, the tooling, or the patience to drop a transmission. You take it to somewhere, they drop the trans, they take it to Jake at Power by the Hour. Jake goes through it, finds that little nib, asks you what you want to do. You're like, well, I can't afford to do anything else. Just slap it back together. Okay, slaps it back together. No warranty because, hey, we found the smoking gun. Jake tests it out, ship it back to you. The shop puts it back in. You have a $3,000 or $4,000 bill because of a sliver. I have a $12,000 bill because of an intercooler brick. I have a $12,000 loss and whatever because of the motor being built by someone that literally does not know what the fuck they're doing. So this is something that can happen to the regular Joe, and he's fucked. I'm lucky that I have the right people in my Rolodex, like I said, that are willing to help. I'm paying. Jake's not doing shit for free, and I wouldn't expect him to. But to make it worthwhile, I said, let me buy some parts off you. We'll get after it. I'll spend the money now, and the project has been moved up timeline-wise. I already sent the blower to Kong to get rebuilt, not necessarily ported, rebuilt. If a port happens, then that blower is going to go to Department of Boost. Department of Boost is going to put a different hub on it so it can line up with the Whipple drive kit I have to buy. $3,000 right there. And then we're going to get after it with the GT500. Yeah, I love Donnie the Dirtbag. Have all the Team Z stuff on my S197 Coyote Swap project. It seems like nice stuff. Pulling out the 6R80 theory book. Jake's average reading material, pretty much. Jake literally... So the Luns are also well-versed in the 6R80 game. You give Junior, like Senior can rebuild the 6R80. He was taught by Jake, and he gets it. Junior has looked at the pathways that the transmission can take in terms of fluid direction. Right? When you look at this part, like when Jake mentioned this part when he took this apart, he said that this little sandwich plate, gets updated once in a while by Ford. Let me see, where is it? Valve body overview. There's like a little plate or sandwich gasket in between the two parts of the valve body. This is the lead frame, and the lead frame basically has Hall sensors in it, and when they get dirty, that's what could cause issues. When he took it apart, he did say something very interesting that I want you guys to listen on. Lead frame, there it is. This little part that he took apart. Not childhood, but work. I used to do. No.
And that's where the magic happens, right?
Yeah, I guess so. God.
So this part, according to Jake, gets updated by Ford every once in a while. Not this part, the brown looking thing on the right-hand side that he's about to separate. He's like, that thing gets updated by Ford, and it looks to be like pathways, orifice sizes, or whatever. And when that valve body update is put on, then they change the strategy of the vehicle. So now that could be oncoming element, offgoing element, shift pressure, 3/4 clunk, overdrive application, the smoothness of the overdrive application, all that stuff.
Is this a layer or something? Like a gasket?
Yeah, this is your separator plate. There's all your orifices to act on the valves, and this does a lot. And normally they'll have updates on these, like progressively they'll change it.
Would it require a strategy change in the computer?
Or just a relearn maybe.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a lot of the magic too. So if you want, for example, firmer shifting, think about it as a shift kit. Firmer shifting or just different paths, or maybe you've seen failures, they can update those valve body separator plates and valve bodies themselves in order for a desirable outcome to be met. The Lunds have played with that stuff on the Grey Goose. The Grey Goose has a valve body just like that, internals that are 6R80, and that's how we are able to create such a robust transmission, by redirecting some of the fluid pathways. That's why we don't get into the weeds with 6R80 explanation. A lot of you guys think that you can just slap out some bill of parts and go sixes. That is not the case at all. There has been a massive amount of R&D, and you guys think we're kidding when we say R&D, of fluid pathway realignment and reconfiguring so that there is a desired outcome based on trans temp, based on dump valve, based on converter application, whether it's lockup, non-lockup, whether the fluid going in and out of the converter needs to be, cooled, or the fluid coming back has to go through a cooler. There's a lot of pathway changes that can be done right there, and typically it ends up needing some tuning stuff. Speaking of Lund Racing, they ended up going to I forget, it's like a test and tune for like a event that's coming up at Bradenton. They were very smart this time and stuck to the left lane. According to Junior, the right lane is still sketch. Something happened in the resurfacing of this track that just made the right lane intolerable, whether they ground it too far or there's just a bunch of water under there. No idea. But they went out there just to, we just spun all week at FL2K. So they wanted to go out there on the same track during a rental. I think it's a grudge 8th mile rental, and they wanted to just get some licks in, and they did. Oh, Jesus, Alex, come on. Gotta have sound. And it went almost a personal best of 669.209 with a 160 foot. We have been 1-0s. So you understand, if we can get everything together, a 1-0, a 435-ish, and a 659, then that would be amazing. And I think he did a couple of runs while they got down there. According to Junior, the car was starting to lose traction at over 200 miles an hour. So he suspects that the prep at the end of the track wasn't great, but it was just nice to shake off the car's running good, suspension's good, it wasn't us type thing. Got everything dialed in. They also noticed using the exhaust gas temperature sensors that one of the holes isn't firing properly. So they suspect a coil issue because they have a cylinder 1 coil code intermittently. So they're going to tear into the harness next week and go ahead and hammer that out. Then get back out there during this cold time and, colder time, 75, and see if they can bust off a 659. And that's kind of it. I don't think there's going to be that much more to the Grey Goose unless we can shove the overdrive back in there and do overdrive classes. We're not fast enough for the Billy Badass fast stuff. We're way too fast for certain other classes, so we'll see where that car falls and who gets to drive it in the future. More than likely, Junior and Senior will team up. You mentioned putting a Gen 2 F-150 already in a Mustang. What's needed for this? Nothing. It's a direct swap, and then you make sure you calibrate the valve body stuff, the valve body strategy. Same. That my Gen 2 red car had a F-150 6R80 in it. Eric Rounchie, good morning. Phil Fez, Team Z is the only company that makes quality Cayman for S197. Fuck that red shit. I think I have that red shit on the GT500 or a Team Z. I'm not sure because the more I look at it, I can't really tell. Holy shit, ads in the middle of a live. Sorry, pay for premium, brother. 3 months of trans swap. What's the name of that shop? 3 months for a trans. Come on, stop it. Late to the party. Want to say, I know I pointed the converter having trash from manufacturing, but it's not a dig at Circle D. Same. I understand what you're saying, Destroyer. I am not digging at Circle D. Shit happens, okay? They could have sent you 100 more and be perfect. Just bad luck. That's what I'm saying. That imagine the luck or the odds of that happening to someone, and it happens to be me. Matt Oliver. Theo, I think everyone needs to tune into your channel. You clearly illustrate how to apply logic and reason to the situations you encounter far too quickly. People jump to the finger pointing. Exactly. And I appreciate that. And I think I can get on dumb shit here, and you guys probably get sick of me like sounding like I'm whining and complaining. But guys, working in this industry is not a fun time. So when you try to apply logic to people, they come back with arguments that make no sense. Again, if you go to my Instagram, I said something that is factually correct. Hellcat motor is better than a Coyote, whatever variant. A Hellcat motor is better because boost and octane, this thing can make 1,000 and it's 1,000. No problem, because it starts off at 800. People say, what about the Predator? Well, it's Coyote. We all know what a Coyote likes to make. So if you are tripling the output of that Coyote to make 1,000, okay, because nobody has a stock Hellcat non-blower variant out there, right? There is no stock car that has the exact Hellcat motor without the blower in it. Or am I wrong about that? Doesn't the compression change, the cams change, the configuration changes? So there is no argument to say if the Hellcat didn't have a blower, sorry, there is no situation on planet Earth where a Hellcat motor doesn't have a blower. On Coyotes, all of them, minus the Predator, come without a blower. And those, we know what they make NA, we know where they break, we know what their failure points are. So now when you slap a blower on it or turbos to make triple the horsepower, you know which one is going to be stressed out more, and it's the Coyote. People will argue that point till the end of time because they're fanboys. Nardi Mercado says, the part that blows me away is these parts shop engine builders hate you for telling the people what to watch out for. They counter Alex doesn't know shit while the proof is in the video. One thing you can't say about my channel is that I don't know shit. I understand you hate me because I'm willing to say you're a fuck. You stole a file. When I say you stole a file, I don't say it because I have no proof of it. I have, not forget proof, the likelihood of you figuring out the most complex Ford vehicle in the first shot just tells me you're not that talented. No, you're not that talented. I'm sorry. So when you have access to a 6R80 file, a GT500 file, or a big boy turbo Gen 3 file, first shot, you're making it run 850s or 7s, shenanigans. And people don't like being called out on shenanigans. Austin Wells. There was a small piece of electrical tape in my oil after tapping it for an AM fitting. Lost oil pressure, blew my shit up. Just a tiny part. The update typically happens from either testing or warranty market analysis. People going to take the dental tools and port the separator plate thinking they'll get harder shifts. Yeah, don't do that. Please don't do that. Hey, at least your bad creates content. That's making lemonade out of lemons. Once this happened, I wasn't mad about it. I said, well, I'm going to see how long it takes me to take out the 6R80. So with all of my tools, my jacks and everything, beginning to end, it took a total of like 2.5 hours. And I've never taken a 6R80 out of a car like this. Remember, starter, trans-cooler lines, drive shaft, cross member, all exhaust, all that stuff has to come off. So 2.5 hours beginning to end. Putting it in is going to take me a little longer because I have to be diligent, smart, put it together nicely, put the converter in. It's going to take a little bit of a longer time. I'll separate it into a couple of days because there's no rush for that. So I am learning. I am seeing what it takes. And then once I put it all together, you guys will see the result. So it's content. So I got to make money out of it. So that's what I do. I show you guys what's happening. 250 watchers, people watching and not 100 likes, pick it up. Exactly. Looks like Lund needs one more box and that tire slip is fixed. Alex, DNA hooked me up with a Whipple throttle body upgrade. Well, worth it. Good. I'm going to buy a throttle body more than likely from DNA High Performance for a Gen 1. A Whipple 132 for a Gen 1 because I think that throttle body is going to end up in the GT500. If the Gen 3R comes back ported and done up by Department of Boost and Kong, I will go ahead and install a 132mm adapter on it because I do not want to fuck around with the twin bore game. Brushing, flossing, and Listerine during the live. Refuse to join the gingivitis lifestyle. Absolutely. You got to do it. Things going wrong for you creates more content and more learning. Just got to look at it with a positive mindset. Think about it. Think about how much I've shown you in the last week in terms of intricate knowledge, theory, application, failure points, why they fail. Nobody is bringing you that. Nobody is bringing you that. Like, name anybody that can bring you that content. The long form video on the channel where Jake tears down the 6R80 is a interview with the preeminent expert on 6R80s. The guy. He is that motherfucker. So when you have an opportunity to ask him questions as he's tearing into it so he can visually see and tell you where things fail, I'm going to jump at that. And I said, hey, Jake, do you mind me videoing the assembly? He goes, yeah. I said, just let me know when. He goes, probably next Wednesday so I can get my mind right. I got to get my schedule right. But probably next Wednesday, we'll put it all together. Now, I'm not going to bother him that much. I'm just going to watch him work. Probably one long video, set up 2 cameras, and just sit there and, have him do the assembly on the 6R80. And then we talk as he assembles, get it all figured out. And then after that, it's up to me to put it in and get it going. And that'll probably happen that weekend. A door course in the 8s, guess it was close to 1,000 horsepower, still gape. No. You got to give them their props. Evolution has gone 8s like 4 times already with the 2024 Mustang. Now, you and I both know that's possible with custom tuning. And I think Whipple is custom tuning it. That's all. They have access, so they're going to custom tune it. If you tell me that's the same exact tune y'all got with a Stage 2 kit, I think you're lying. If that's the exact, if I go to Lebanon Ford and I want the Stage 2 Whipple kit, which is not emissions compliant, they've even said that. The Stage 1, I think, is. The Stage 2 is not, and there is no warranty, so there goes that. And I drop off my 10R80 car, and now I have a Stage 2 Whipple calibration car. On that tune, without any updates at all or logs, can I go 890s? Probably not. You're going to have to send logs back to Whipple. Whipple will then update some stuff. I'm sure shift pressures. I'm sure shift schedule. I'm sure torque reduction is going to have to be manipulated to make that 8-second pass happen. That's what happens when one tuning company has a monopoly on the tuning. That's what happens. They get first dibs, first access, and that's as good as it can do. So I don't think custom tuning is going to be worth it in that application. On a Whipple tune, you guys know that the West Coast guys with Whipple cars take the Whipple tune. They don't start from scratch. We start from scratch because we ask you to put in a brass IAT. And we don't use the IMRC to piggyback off of, IAT stuff. So we usually say, put a brass IAT in it. We're going to put in our strategy and we're going to hammer it out the way we've hammered it out. So I don't think on a Whipple application, Gen 4 S650, you can do better than they're already doing if they're custom tuning it for their customers. Nothing wrong with that. The tuning comes into play when you want to do NA stuff, E85 stuff, turbo stuff. That's where the rubber meets the road when it comes to tuning. Hammering out multiple combos. Whipple is going to be great at tuning Whipple stuff. When it comes to NA, E85, and max effort stuff, turbos and stuff, that's when you have to go elsewhere. Now, is ProCharger going to do the same thing? Now that they have access to the calibration, is ProCharger going to go and custom tune their customers to go the number they want to go? Let's talk about what it takes to make a centrifugal go fast. You could foot brake it with a lot of boost, sure, or you can leave on a trans brake. That's where custom tuning comes into play. Right now, you have to foot brake every car, so your reaction time is not going to be great. Whipple can't tune in a trans brake, and if they can, that means Ford gave them access to those parameters, and that's when shit starts breaking. So that's going to be a very interesting thing in the next year or so if tuning is still not available and Whipple goes and custom tunes trans brake and built transmission stuff and a whole bunch of other things. Third coach Cody says, I have a Team Z tubular front support on my swap. Their shit is top notch. Nardi says, well, I had my Circle D converter put in. It was an issue and it had been taken off for another. No issues with it since. If I have to take this transmission out again and the converter has to go out, I'm not going to be mad because the converter was free, but it's not free if you have to drop the transmission 3 times to make it work. You know what I mean? Once from Thunder, once from me, and another time if I feel there's an issue with the converter, I might have to start looking elsewhere. How much of a pain it is to convert the twin throttle body to a 132? You have to make an adapter. That's all. Jake is the guy for sure. Who would want to pick his brain? Phil Fat says, Alex, when my TJ69 begins to mess up, what should I go to next? I think I'm ready to set up another monoblade for my TVS combo. You're going to have to go, in my opinion, Phil Fez, adapt a 132 Whipple on it. The problem is this. The TJ69 from VMP has had a 50 to 60% fail rate everywhere, to the point that they stopped making it. Go ahead, try to order one. They stopped making it. They went back down to a twin 67 and made it black for some reason. So as a tuner, every single time I see a twin 69 show up in the queue, I'm going to say, you know that this thing fails, right? Like 60% of the time. Imagine you have 10 throttle bodies on the table. 6 of those are going to fail in a car. Mind-blowing that parts are being sold. That's why you when I say this industry isn't shit, that's what I mean. The best monoblade is made by Whipple. So if you were to adapt a 132 on it, Phil Faz, I'd literally give you a Whipple front feed tune with your math curve that you currently have. So it might look goofy with a 132 coupled down to that cold air, but that's the best one that I've seen have the least amount of issues. How's the Coyote torque tube coming? I sent off the bell housing to North Carolina. And in North Carolina, they have a guy that's going to plot the bolt pattern, the dowels, all that stuff. After that's done, that is going to get sent to, I think, the guy at Department of Boost. The guy at Department of Boost knows a guy. And then I'll have to buy a $1,000 QuickTime bell. That $1,000 QuickTime bell is going to get the plate chopped off. And with the bolt pattern that came off of the C6, they're going to integrate it into the QuickTime bell and then flip it and make sure that the stick out, the height, all that stuff jives. Once that is good and verified with the bell that I gave them, weld it up, make sure the dowels and everything fit good, send it back to me. I start assembling the car with the actual Coyote motor and start doing a lot of measuring. Not a lot of people want to show you the issues with their car. They want to keep the illusion of perfection, I guess. If I blew something up, like because of the tune or something, I hesitate to show it for sure. But none of the failures that I've had on my last 3 vehicles, GT500, Corvette, and Donnie, have been my fault. Custom off-road tuning, which is interesting. Maybe it was a bristle from the potatoes toothbrush. I don't know if he owns one. Get those likes up. But Whipple said they only have a quarter access of Ford calibration. Say it'll go faster with full access. Make that make sense. Torque reduction. So right now, the transmission, look, it's being sold by, Evo is doing it. Evo makes money installing parts, right? So Evo is going to showcase the parts that they install, make a car go this. And they don't care if they blow it up. So if it's blowing through the shifts, if it's unhappy, if you have to do a whole bunch of stuff to the calibration, meaning torque reduction. So Jared Wells, I don't want to give up too much knowledge on the tuning side of things, but when a car short shifts, when a car like a 6R80 gets the transmission rebuilt and the car does not make a shift, well, a lot of people shift it sooner and sooner, but there's 2 or 3 other things you can do to make it complete that shift without lowering the mile per hour shift point. You need to have access to it, or you need to have an understanding what that does. You're like, okay, there's oncoming elements, offgoing elements, there's clutch pressures, there's a bunch of stuff that are indexed, and you're like, I don't know what that does. Like a direct correlation. I needed to shift sooner because it's doing this, then trial and error based on Lund Racing's findings. This is the best thing that works. Whipple does not have that. Whipple has never had that. Whipple just puts in whatever calibration they deem good and they send it, and they typically don't custom tune it. If Ford says, here is all of the transmission stuff, then Ed Badillo is going to have to go through the whole, whatever his name is. He's going to have to go through all of it, find the logic, have the A2L, have the C file, and go, okay, this certain table is preventing, or it hits a limiter. Remember when they were hitting a limiter? When the cars were on the dyno and they were hitting like a 155 mile an hour, 160 mile an hour limiter, and it took them like 3 or 4 days to figure it out. Yeah, guarantee that they went back to Ford and said, hey, I need access to this, I need access to that. Just like a lot of regular tuners, like HP tuners, right? Let's say HP tuners, you want the car to shift firmer. A 10R80 car. Enabling drag mode isn't the best thing you could do. That's the best way I could put it. There is a certain table that is not indexed in that software. It has to be found in the matrix. It has to be gone through. Junior had to go in there and pry it out, index it, try it on the black bean, figure out that's what it does best, and go. Everyone else just forces it into drag mode. So they use the already indexed drag mode and say, okay, let's just force this into that. So I know when I hear a car shift like the black bean shifts, I go, that is a sucked off file, because the only way they could make it sound exactly the same Junior can make it sound is they have binary, access. They have C file access. They have A2L access, and some fucking jamoke with a 1-bay shop in the middle of nowhere does not have that capability. I'm sorry. Let me finish this coffee. Brandon Horton ran into a guy at Cars and Coffee with a piece of shit 3 valve that was built. Told 3 people it was making 3 different numbers. When asked to do a run, said his Hoosier Slicks can't work on the street. Come on, you know those guys. He has a 3 valve. Remember we talked about DA Warriors, Nardi Mercado? Remember we talked about DA Warriors? Remember a couple of shows ago, I'm like, you're going to start hearing about DA Warriors. They're out in full force. What's Michael Camacho. Who's top Coyote engine builders? If I'm afraid, who else? Or just them? Who's top Coyote engine builder? FFRE right now. I don't know. I don't personally, based on experience in the ticket system, I only trust them. Sevens. Oh, fuck, that's funny. Anyone from Cali here? Just took my Lund tuned 66 Galaxy Coyote swap on a 5,200 mile trip on a 1,300 mile drag and drive. 767 at 95 eighth mile. Good for you. That's like an 11.7, 11.8 car. Mohammed says, hey Alex, I got a 15 GT and I lost around a half a cup of coolant past month. I tested and had no leaks, but I suspect the water pump as its car OG, but no obvious leak. Any idea if I should go aftermarket or pump? half a cup of coolant and you're tripping over the last month. Half a cup. Let me ask you, Mohammed, how the fuck did you measure that? How did you measure that? How are you going by what you see in the expansion tank? I don't know how you measured that. Definitely a Harley Davidson Sportster, maybe a Road Glide driver. Okay, what's happening? Pretty sure Lund is the only one who can make the 1080 shift at almost 10K. Well, make a shift, yes. Like, we were the first one to have a car launch in third gear. Because we're like, let's look at the gear ratio. Oh, that looks good. We were the first ones to launch in second gear. Back in 2018. Do you know how many people told us it makes no difference launching in second gear than first gear? And then all of a sudden, we started launching in second gear. Motherfuckers started going 7s and low 8s. And then everybody that makes big power started launching in second gear. Anyone out there that thinks that second gear leave was something that they thought of first is smoking crack. It was 100% a flub. Somebody would left it in sport mode by mistake, put it in second, launched, and it cut a really good 60. And then Junior was like, you know what? Let's just do it all the time. And that was that. The peach found in the transmission reminded me of a little bristle from an AN line. There's no AN lines on this car, though. Alex, did Donnie throw a code or was it just something funny? It never threw a code because a valve was stuck. So no code was thrown. Now, how could I have overcome that? Maybe by putting it in drive up a million times and hoping the fluid, jars it loose. But it was, you saw how stuck it was that Jake had to pry it out of there. Dude broke out the beakers and scales to measure that right. Not only DA Warriors running numbers, but all of them collectively celebrating evolution while claiming 1,000 horsepower, running same or worse Gen 2 than Gen 3. You cannot claim 1,000 wheel horsepower and say it's a 930 at 150. Explain how this thing went 9.1 at 900, 100 less rear wheel horsepower. And let's talk about the gear ratio. This car had a 4R200 hub with 3.15 gears in the rear. So if this thing had 373s and a 4R200 hub, it would have been 880, 870 car. Maybe. But I didn't want to go through that trouble. And it ran a 9.2 or 9.1 at 900 real horsepower. So if I had another 100 real horsepower, a 10R80, and better gear ratio, why isn't it running 80s or 70s at 1,000 wheel? So now it could be that the torque reduction is just pulling a bunch of timing on the shifts. That could be it. But this is why I don't like showing horsepower numbers. Because when you go to the track and the horsepower number does not correlate with the ET and the mile an hour, and you go on a low DA day, that makes me go, maybe it's not making the actual 1,000. Mohammed, I filled it with a gallon already used around 300 milliliters. Okay, you're overthinking it, Mohammed. You're overthinking it. A half a cup? You're tripping about a half cup? And you filled it again? I think you're overthinking it. That wasn't a bristle in the valve body. It was a hair from some kid's broccoli hairdo. Anybody interested in a 17,000 mile 6R80 2017 GT? That's not terrible. I mean, what's the price? My car had close to 30,000 miles, but it was a 15, and it was NA. And I sold it for 20 something. So it all depends on how much you're asking, bro. It all depends. Who is this? Okay, somebody's hitting me up. Like I always get hit up in the middle of the show. So I think you're going to start seeing the DA get better and better right before tracks close up north. A lot of people are going to come down to Florida and race in Florida in the next couple of weeks. And that's probably going to be good because that part of Florida does get cool. It's 50s, 60s at night that time of year. Down here, though, we don't. Like in the South Florida, we don't. But up in Bradenton, yeah, you can, or South Georgia, you can absolutely see 60-degree weather. So it'll be favorable. So you see cars go a number for sure. And again, cars that make 1,000 should go 8s. Period. 930? No, come on. That means either there's a bunch of torque reduction or timing is being pulled or something's not happy. Was the debris confirmed to be rubber? No. go again. I've said it like 15 times on the show. I even showed a video of it. Actually, there's 2 videos of it, and it showed you what they were. It was like a wire brush. What are DA Warriors? Come on, man. Come on. Alex, you seen Trump on Rogan? Pretty entertaining 3 hours. Yeah. One thing that I learned on that interview, I didn't see the whole 3 hours because I'm not a Rogan fan. When he talks, I just go, I just tune the fuck out. But the interesting thing that Trump said was about the national debt. He's like, I'm not worried about it. And then he's like, well, okay, I'm paraphrasing. He's like, because you have to put that up against what the United States is worth. So if you guys were to put a number on what is the worth of the United States, what is its net worth? If it was a company, if the United States was a company, what would be its worth? Think about the military. Think about the weaponry. Think about hardware and resources. There's oil underneath us, a shitload in Alaska, here, shale oil, fracking, all that stuff. You know, the land. So if you were to take a guess as to the net worth of the country, and he's talking about being under leveraged, and I'm like, shit, that makes sense. Because if I own 50 cars, and each car is worth $10,000, but I have $100,000 in debt, what am I really worth? And how much is that debt really affecting me? Yeah, I get it. It doesn't make sense for the layman because they're like, 33 trillion in debt. I'm like, well, then what's the United States worth? 3 quadrillion? Oh, what a dream. Probably knock sensors going apeshit over E30. No, I think the E30 is not knocking. I think what's happening is they have E30 from Sunoco. And the E30 from Sunoco, the 70% that's left over, is probably a race additive. So what they're doing is they're allowing some of the cooling to come into play from the 30% ethanol, and the 70% is race gas. No different than on my Corvette when I had 50% Sunoco 260 GT and 50% E85, and I made it so that it had an E40, E50 mix all the time because the fuel system wasn't keeping up. But the half of it was race gas on a Chevy that has flex logic, and the other half was ethanol, and it smelled like ethanol. Jared Wells, been a supporter for a while now. Keep pushing the right information out there and many fakes in the industry. Thank you, Jared Wells. I appreciate that. Very good point on the debit. Right. Alex, my 6 already has a PO731 code. I've seen it to be an issue with the F-150 and the lead frame. Any chance that's my issue or definitely smoked? So I don't think it's smoked if it's PO371. Timing reference signal issues. OBD2 could the engine PCM, decrease engine performance, crankshaft. Okay. Timing P0371? Is that what you said? Let me Google that for you, sir. P0731. Jesus. P0731. Incorrect gear ratio. So, imagine the Hall effect sensor, the lead frame, has basically magnets picking up a reluctor wheel in the transmission. So it's, pulsing. So that reluctor is coming across and it goes, okay, the timing is accurate. Let's say you get dirt in it, or that sensor has an intermittent loss of signal. So instead of seeing that reluctor wheel hit consistently, it goes, and the car goes, that's the incorrect gear ratio. The gear ratio we're expecting in this gear position, in this clutch applied, with this drum being applied, should pulse this much. And if it's not, it could be the lead frame. Now, that's as easy as dropping the pan, dropping the valve body, replacing the lead frame, putting the pan back on filter, and going. That's a cheap way to fix it. So I would take it to Ford, honestly. But I think it's probably more correlating with the picking up of the reluctor the reluctor wheel, or the the sensor on the lead frame, and it could just be dirt in it, according to Jake. And we went over that in the video. So go back on the video, check out where the lead frame was, check out what Jake said could cause issues with the lead frame, and see if that is what you're experiencing. Moji World, say, Alex, I'm selling my Mach 1, my 22 Mach 1. I am offered a 2020 Lincoln Aviator, a 19 Caddy CT6, both V6 and plus some cash, which is best choice for daily usage, 40-mile commute every day. I would not get a Lincoln because the Lincoln comes with the EcoBoost. So the CT6, I don't like either. I don't like the CT6 either. 19 CT6 Cadillac. I don't like that either. It doesn't. Let me see. No, neither. I don't like either of them. So used with 20,000 miles, they're $65,000. So, but it leaves true high-end luxury at the door. You could look into the reviews. It looks like they're lacking. Like it's not that. No, I would not get either. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like either car. There you go. 185 gas prices coming back, baby. Good morning. Good morning, says Alex. Alex, for real, what are DA Warriors? Normal? School me. I tried to Google. You tried to Google DA Warriors? So, density altitude. When you're in Florida and it is super soupy outside, 88 degrees, 95 degrees with 100% humidity, the density altitude is positive, like 3,500 or 3,000. So, the higher the DA number, the less available air there is to combust. Let's just say that. And water grains also matters. Like you could literally have, low-ish DA but high humidity. The lower the density altitude, the more air, technically, and I'm being very simple about the explanation. I'm not going to give you a scientific explanation. So the lower the DA, the more air there is available to combust. And you just have more air density entering the combustion event and making more power. That's why guys go out there on a cold day, low humidity at sea level, and the car runs like 3 or 4 tenths quicker than it did in the summer at the same track. So no different than when it's hot and muggy in the summer and cool and dry in the fall. That's high DA versus low DA. So the DA Warriors don't bring their cars out until the DA is favorable. That's what the DA Warrior is. They go out when it is favorable. Can Ceratec fix phaser tick? No. How do you fix? Mask. Nothing fixes whatever is causing ticking. If there is ticking happening, there is metal on metal contact somewhere. Ceratec masks it. It does not fix anything. There are not nanites in Ceratec that fix anything. Wonder if Nick canceled his membership because sure did disappear. I agree. I have a 4.0 pulley on Whipple, and can I go 1 or 2 sizes down without a tune? 10 PSI pump gas is, in my opinion, the limit with good pump gas. Terry Scott, is it a small enough difference not to tune? Again, depends on how much you pulley down. 10 PSI is the highest I would go, maybe 11 PSI on very good quality pump gasoline. Tall Starlight says, sorry, my bad. I meant MTD2 from 2017 GT. Oh, not a 6R80? I don't know what it's worth. Facebook's all over the place with pricing. It's worth whatever the market will bear. So what is a manual? Let's say what is it? Not bring a trailer. What's Car Gurus? Let's see what Car Guru says a Gen 2 manual is worth nowadays. Gen 2 Mustang. Okay, used Ford Mustang. Yeah, sure. So we're going to go mileage. So we're going to go under 20. What the fuck? This doesn't... Oh, there we go. 20,000 miles or fewer. 2015 to 2017. 15. 2017. Transmission manual. 2 of them. Jesus. How many miles from me? 2 results. Can we have like more miles? It didn't say. Anyway, so it looks to be what? Come on. These cars are like brand new. This one has 224 miles, 44,000. This one has 4,150 miles, and it's 45. You're smoking that good shit, bro. You are smoking that crack. Let's go to cars.com because that was ridiculous. Cars.com is probably a more. Oh, this internet is flying today, baby. Watch it fail. Now that I say that. Ford, Mustang, all miles. Yeah, all miles. So we're not just here. All miles. Let's go years. Years. 15 to 17. 17. Under 20. Whoa, this is ugly. Holy shit. You have 17,000 miles, so you could probably get this is retail though. So that's the dealer assuming they're going to cover it if shit goes down. This is a good price. Wow, 38. Okay, this is inflation, bro. These things were cheap. This is not a bad looking car right here, but 38. You're smoking that crack. Is this? Oh, it's silver. Man, you don't see. These are nice wheels. Are those signature? The wheels that people hate? Wait, those are good wheels, aren't they? What wheels are these? What are those? What are those? What are those? Does anyone know what wheels these are? Okay. Let me see. I don't know, but these wheels look good. They look really good on this car. Is this like a premium? Oh, bro, it's supercharged. Oh, my Lord. This thing's nice. All right, this bitch is worth 38, I think. Does it have like the boombox in the back? Hell yeah, it's got the woofer. This is like a premium GT. This is like high end. The bigger, yeah, this is like, oh, automatic. Jesus Christ, 6R80 supercharged Mustang. I thought I put manual. What the fuck happened? I thought I put manual on this bitch. Let me see. I did not. Okay, let's go back. The transmission, manual. All right. So because yours has slightly higher miles, that's better. Okay, now we're talking. 16 GT, 30,000 bucks, high 20s. So I would say high 20s, sir. I would say high 20s depending on the mods and go from there. Because, you know, you want to sell it. These guys are assuming they're taking in, you know, warranty and all this gay shit. But this is still a great buy, in my opinion. If you want to get into Mustangs, in my opinion, Gen 2 is still one of the better, you know, options out there. Look at the red car. Man, 29,000 bucks. Just like the old red car, bro. Oh, the no wing too. I love that shit. Oh man, this is literally red car vibes all day. So yeah, I would say mid to high 20s is where you should be with that car, sir. Just keep the Mach 1. It's cheaper to keep her. When you walk outside, it's hard to breathe. It's the same for your car. I need to get smaller pulley and have Alex dial me in then. No, I don't. I don't need to do shit. You just put a pulley on and go. Mustang Lifestyle, me la pela. I agree. DJ Randall says, density altitude is pressure altitude corrected for the due to temperature. Higher DA, less slugs of air oxygen per square foot, equal less power. Lower DA, DA warrior, more power due to weather conditions. There you go. That's a better way. I'm terrible at giving you technical explanations because I'd like to talk to the layman, just the regular guy, because when Trump said, I don't really worry that much about the national deficit because America is worth so much, it made sense in my head. You're getting 8 or 9 pounds, so just pulley down to 10 or 11 pounds. You don't need a tune. You just need octane more than anything. Just your average security says 19 to 25 for a used Gen 2 Coyote is what I usually see in car gurus, but I'm in Orlando. Mohammed says $45,000 for a 10-year-old car. It'll cost another $5,000 for new suspension and maintenance. Maintenance. I love you, Mohammed. Thank you for being on the chat. Good time. It maintains. HREs. Bro, HREs? HRE wheels. HRE wheels. Yeah, those look like HREs. Shit, bro. What do you think they were? They look like one of these. Let me see. Yeah, they're HREs. That is a nice car. I mean, $40,000 for a supercharged 6R80 car with HREs? 6R80 supercharged car, ready to go. Come on. These are nice. Sorry, I'm just, hogging the shit. But yeah, I guess that car had HREs. It looked like double spoke. They were like double spoke. Like 5-star with double spoke. Yeah, like this, but silver. Well, these are fucking nice. How much are these bitches? Boy, 19, 20, and 20. These would be good on the GT500, but you know, that car's going to be a drag car on Bellax all the time. Fuck all that. What should my car sell for? Built motor, T56, 4 fuel system, all the Steeda stuff, and welds. 40, 45, Jared Wells? 40 to 45 is what I would ask for your car. Not 50. 50's tough on a Gen 2 because there's just so many out there. HRE, when are you going to install an indoor pool in the 1.1, right? That's sick, blown too. 38 for a manual Gen 2 is crazy. Here in Canada, I see them for low 30s, and that's with our low value dollars. I think he meant he's selling the MT82 out of his car with 17,000 miles. Okay, he needs to be very specific. I am selling my transmission, or I'm selling the car. So yeah, so high 20s is what I would buy. Okay, if Alex is going to go buy my Gen 2, my Gen 1, 6R80 car was $20,000 even with 60-something thousand miles, 70,000 miles. So if I was to say, okay, now I'm going to get a 15 to 17 manual under 20,000 miles, I would expect to pay high 20s or low 30s for sure. JD Swag's not going to go anywhere unless someone brought me $45,000. Yeah, 45 is good. It's definitely worth 38, but get a compression test before buying. $38,000 blower here, HRE 6R premium. Someone jump on it. Bro, let's go back to that car, right? Was it on cars.com? Ford Mustang. Bro, that was a good car. I'm going to actually read it. I mean, that was a good car. Let me see. Shit. Sorry. Mustang. What years? Years, goddammit. There was another one that had years. There we go. 15, 17. This is what I like about this chat. Super laid back, so I'm not stressing it. I don't feel like I have to give you guys too much attention. Where'd it go? Was it here? Or was it Car Gurus? Was it Car Gurus? I think it was Car Gurus. Let me see. No, it wasn't Car Gurus. It was this. What the fuck? Dang. Where'd it go? Did I set a high price? Bro, that car was actually pretty good. Let me see. 17 high price. Damn. Where'd it go? Now I gotta find it. Car seemed good. Nope. 2. Let's just do automatic. Fuck it. It's an automatic transmission. Auto manual? What the hell's an auto manual? Fucking stupid auto manual. Bro, I lost the car. I can't believe it. Now I'm gonna have to go back on the chat. Okay, I remember that car, but where's the one with HREs? Bro, did someone just like snatch it up? Damn it. Now I gotta find it. We gotta go find this car. There it is. Boom. So this car is located. Let's do it. Let's do it up at Pugmire Ford. It's got less than 20,000 miles. Yeah, we'll accept all the cookies. Where the fuck are you located? Where's Pugmire Ford? Gray, rural drive, keyless entry, LED headlights. Yeah, it's whatever. So let's go look at this whole car, bro. Bitch, nice. Let's see. Pugmire.com. It looks like it's got Magnaflows, like adult series exhaust. Come on, bro. How can you not like this car? That premium 6R car for 38,000. It's got upgraded rotors. This bitch is bad. I'm sorry, guys. If you're $38,000 for a supercharged Roush car, probably has 47s, probably didn't go crazy, probably makes 600 chilling, probably is phase 1. Is it phase 1 or phase 2? We gotta look at the pulley. It looks like an 82 or maybe a 70 or 80. But guys, this is a freaking great deal. Call me crazy. Because the car has under 20,000 miles, 2016 premium, already supercharged with a Roush kit, 6R car with HREs. Bro, get that. Where's Pugmire Ford. Pugmire Ford. Georgia. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Is there a website? Pugmire Ford of Cartersville, Georgia. Where the hell's Cartersville, Georgia? Damn it. Cartersville, GA. Okay. Dun. Oh my God, by Atlanta? Shit. Shit, by Atlanta, bro. You might have a problem up there. So anyway, yeah, check them out. Pugmire Ford has a 6R80 car with HREs ready to go for $40,000. I'd get it. Not that I'm gonna, but I'd get it. He's got over 5,000 of those HRE wheels. They're expensive. If Trump wins, Alex has to buy a house. I mean, that's another thing. If Trump wins, in about 2 years, the housing market might get better. Who knows? Probably like $5,000 set of wheels. That's my second drag and drive this year. That was completed. Damn, phone, layman's, cold air, hauls, ass, hot equals slow as hell. If Trump wins, you have to go to the Go South podcast and talk about blueprints. The blueprint? That car is basically a Gen 2 Donnie in the making, exactly. JD Swag, a buddy of mine was Ford Tech at a dealer, and we did it at his shop. Just look at your browser history. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably porn. Bunch of porn. Automatic transmission, Alejandro. Auto trans filter. Got it. You guys are on it. Someone bought it already. Listed is down. Oh, it's gone? The listing is gone? Damn. Okay. Look, that's a good buy, unless something was wrong with it. Someone said I'd buy it. It's in Cartersville, Georgia. Find a Hellcat for that price. Highly considering making the move from a stick S197 to a 6R80 S550, says Phil Fez. You will love it. You will love it. Number one, your car is a good looking car and it's set up for success. Like somebody would sell the T56, put a turbo 400 in it, run 8s in it because the motor is pretty robust. So your car can sell for good money, for sure. Only thing stopping me is all the time and money it takes to set up another car. When I set up my S197 how I wanted it, then keep it. If you're going to race it, keep it. That car is desirable, in my opinion. I think S197s are going to be, the market's not going to be soft on them, especially clean ones. So I would keep it because you're going to start seeing a lot of these cars show up everywhere as the modern Fox body, and people are going to be racing it nonstop. So as long as you keep it clean, don't crash it, keep good wheels on it, run a good number, leave it alone. Phil Fez, you will miss the manual. I'm by Atlanta, definitely smoke detector. I agree. It's an hour and a half from me, says Glass Creek Caddy. North Atlanta is where all the money is. Mr. Hellcat and Trackhawks is in the feds now. New clutch is going in tonight, says Phil Fez. Not going to get away from stick shift racing anytime soon. Just a thought I have in my head. Well, the problem with the 6R80 S550, it's very smooth, but like you got to do a lot more to make that sucker. Well, not that much, to be honest. Like the rear end is pretty stout. You're like a Steeda. Okay. Let's talk about what I would do if I were, because a lot of you guys ask me, Alex, what's a good suspension company? What's a good suspension? This and this and that. Honestly, like you just go to Steeda.com and you just plop yourself there and just buy all of the reinforcement IRS stuff and their springs. So Mustang, 15 to 23 suspension. Okay. And they're not paying me to do this, so I just genuinely like their stuff. Okay, you need the drag springs, but these are linear GT Magna-Ride. You don't need Magna-Ride stuff. You need the regular drag springs. What? Is it the same thing? Why did they say Magna-Ride? Drop, drag. Here we go. So you go to Steeda.com, 2015 to 23 parts. Go to suspension, and you're going to buy the Steeda drag springs, linear, $359. Then you're going to buy the Stop the Hop kit. Let's see. Where is it? I should just put it in the search engine, but you know how some of these places are. Here it is. So $359 plus a $1,700 or $1,100 Stop the Hop kit. You get these bars, you get these links, you get the bushing reinforcements. You get the vertical links, and you get the toe situation. That is now a shored up rear end. Obviously, you got to get axles. So you're $1,700 plus $3. Let's say you're $1,500 in, and okay, so you're $1,500, and then we're gonna go axles because I think G-Force makes axles and they sell them there. So $1,500 plus. Damn, $2,200, bro. This is that's a Fox body. So $1,700 plus $2,300. So yeah. So you spent $4,000, and now your rear end's good. and then you're gonna get a drive shaft. $1,700. So that's $5,700. Oh shit, 57. Okay, cool. So 50. Okay, so wait. So 28,000 plus 5,700 plus a $8,000 blower. Actually, let's do a $11,000 Aldo kit. Okay, fuel system 2,300. Oops, plus 2,300 plus tuning. Oh geez, 47,000. What the fuck did I do? There we go. I fucked up. Oh no, 11,000. It is for turbo kit. So $47,000, car included. 2,300 fuel system. So a tune is going to be a device plus a boosted tune. So it's probably going to be like $1,100. Oh Jesus Christ, Alex! Plus, Alex, you are stupid. You are so stupid. Plus 1,100. Okay, so we got car, rear suspension, drive shaft, everything, right? Everything. Aldo kit, fuel system, and tune, and you still got $1,900 left over. So I said you could go eights with 50,000. I wasn't kidding. Again, I'm assuming you're doing the work yourself. No, I was joking. That is the reason why you couldn't find it. Phil Fez got that RXT in there, and you'll be set for a long time, bro. Keep at it. I like it. Alex, I had a paid question. I don't even see it on here now. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. Sorry. I thought I got to it. I'll scroll all the way up and find it. I apologize. Here we go. If you're not building your engine and trans just stock for stock, wouldn't the Gen 3 10R80 be better for levels up to, say, 750 versus the Gen 2 6R80? Please don't roast me. Eddie Freiberg, you're 100% right. Nope. This is a very good, well thought out question. If you're not building the car to go Billy Badass max effort, you're going to get more out of the 10R80 at low power levels. According to him, he said levels up to 750, I trust generally the 10R80. So yes, if you wanted to go faster for less money, the 10R80 at that power level is desirable. But when we're talking 900 to 1,000, that's when the reliability and the consistency of the 10R80 shows its ugly face. And I prefer you have a 6R80 at that point. But it's not a roastable question. It's a very, very good question. I wish I'd have gotten a Boss 302 over my Gen 2 6R80, but I wanted to go drag racing, so it's perfect for what I need. Phil Fast is about to use RXT. That one will be getting rebuilt. Clutch going in tonight. I'll have information when I get it in today, says Kilometers. The clutch going in is going to be a new R&D clutch for a company that reached out to me, probably Vengeance. Jeremiah Camp, holy shit, where you at, bro? How come you're not telling me when the bitches are up at Utiki? I thought we were tight. I thought we were like boys. And you don't hit me up and be like, yo, this bitch is here. Like, I can't believe you don't go out of your way to be like, bro, I know a guy. He's got the fattest dick and and he's awesome. And how do you know he's got a fat dick? I can't believe you're not a wingman for the kid. But anyway, nice to see you here. That's what I have. Some other stuff too. About $3,500 for all the stuff in the rear. Shit's crazy money nowadays. It came out to 60,000 plus when I crunched all the numbers. Fuel system, Aldo kit, PBH, 6R80 parts, boost controller, suspension, not including the car. What kind of suspension are you picking, bro? That's why car guys don't own a calculator. I'd hate to add up everything I have in my car. Oh, bro, stop it. Stop it. Wheels and tires are 1,900. I catch replays. I'm usually on work live. Gotcha. Literally, Joe Swish. Just your average security says, is the 4R80 still relevant? Yeah. Like, that's for like 1,500 and up horsepower, guys. If you have 1,500 horsepower and up, I would not consider a 6-speed 6R80 because you got to leave in second gear anyway. You got to leave in second gear. So, it doesn't make sense. Unless you like severely short shift the 1-2 and you now have to leave with such little boost that you're playing this the tiptoeing game of like, okay, am I going to do a wheelie and do a backflip or am I going to like 60 foot like a bitch? He's keeping the hose to himself. Now apparently he's got a good girlfriend. I hope he's still with her because she was super cute. They seem to be a good fit together and he was happy. He was legit happy. And when I see a guy find a girl that compliments him and they're happy, I'm like, good for you. Because it's tough to find. I should know. Insanely difficult to find someone that's supportive, allows you to open doors, Now women are on this bullshit. So you're like, bro, especially my age. So that's why I date younger, because they're not ruined by society yet. But the other day I was having a conversation with a millennial. I almost fucking jumped out of the window, and it's the first floor window. She kept saying facts. Talking on the phone. I'm like, yeah, nowadays girls are a bit on the feminine side. She goes, facts. And I went, what? She said, facts. And then I said, well, and they always call me later. They're like, oh, they spin the block? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. They spin the block. She was white. You know when I hung up the phone? When she said she smokes weed every day. I'm like, women are fucking shit nowadays here, bro. It's shit. They're either married or not in the dating pool. Raising Cane's or Popeyes? Raising Cane's. Let Alex review your car again, Jeremiah Camp. I can't tell you what's not a good suspension company. I was looking at the same seat of suspension, just adding Viking Crusaders all four corners as well. It's been dry out of season. Have to come in and see what I can send your way. Okay, well, let me know. What, Wednesday? Jeremiah, what's a good day? Wednesday? You work Wednesday? Let's make Wednesday a day where I show up and just watch a shitty basketball game without volume and have a turkey club and see if I can get some road hole. Or Friday. I'll buy Raising Cane's for anyone who wasn't tried. Raising Cane's is legit. Bussin'. Shit's bussin'. On God. I found the one when I'm married, says the Jocko Bell. He met a Bronx bitch. Okay. Jeremiah Camp may just be looking out for you, Theo, maybe. Alex, I hate to ask her in the show, but do you know offhand what springs are in the front of your GT500? I got some strange adjustable shocks, but iBox springs, motherfucker, low in the front. I got coilovers in the front. I got to do a video. It's tough to get motivated. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's really tough to motivate myself to jack a car up in the air, take all the wheels and tires out of it, and get under it and give you a 10 to 15 minute explanation of the suspension. It is not fun. It's a lot of work, but I'm going to do my best for you guys. Trust me. I'll let you guys know what's happening with the suspension. The 6R80 coming out just kind of took the wrenching. I don't want to wrench on cars for a long time. So I got to wrench on it again after next week. So I'm going to do my best. Please be patient. I understand the videos don't come in as fast as you want them. If it was my only job, I'd do it all the time. But now that we're going to get busy again, we're going to get real busy again. I don't see myself, pumping out a lot of videos. I can't believe this phone cracked again. Unbelievable. S24s crack easy for some reason. I got to get it replaced again. Smoke detector in the background. So, Alex, can I put a 36-inch tire on 273 gears so that I can still claim the 6R80 record? Exactly. Never heard of Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's is legit. There's one in Del Rey, I think, or something. Raising Cane's mid. Fuck you, Raising Cane's is mid. Raising Cane's, Florida. Raising Cane's in Royal Palm Beach is opening soon. Boynton Beach has one, and Pompano has one. More locations? More locations, bro. Look at that. Look at the map for Raising Cane's. He said it's mid. That's okay. You're wrong, but whatever. So I'm down here where it matters. And look at that. Damn. Oh, bro. Raising Cane's. Give me that. That sauce is stupid. Bro. Oh, my God. And that piece of bread. Oh, my mango. Yo, bro. It's so legit. It's fat guy food. 100% fat guy food. But, I haven't had great food like that in months. Blows my mind. We had Cane's last night. Woke up and my girl went out and got it. Rizzy, had a girl curse me out because I finally met her in person and said, wow, you're tall. I'm 6'4" myself, so I'm not sure. And she began to yell at me saying it's bad as calling her fat or ugly. Wow. Interesting. Just Travis Security says Cane's does need better fries. Join late. We'll restart. Hope everyone is having a good weekend. I bought that whole gallon of sweet tea. Not gonna lie, Bojangles cannot fuck with Raising Cane's. Yeah, Bojangles is shit compared to Raising Cane's. I remember there was a kid named Donnie that worked at VMP, and he loved, what the fuck was it? Wasn't the tacos at Bojangles, or was it tacos? Let me see. Bojangles tacos. No, it wasn't Bojangles. There was a place that he loved, and it was gross. Couldn't believe it. Sub the slot for another piece of toast. I think you did say the GT500 has a red junk K member when you first bought it, but it's not red. It's hammer tone. So it makes me think it was a Team Z. That's Cat. Bojangles is so much better. Raising Cane's is good tier fast food. You have Culver's down there? Do we have Culver's down here? Bro, there's a Culver's in every fucking corner here. Culver's. Dude, Culver's is everywhere. in this motherfucker. Oh, wow. Look at that. There's like 4 by me. I don't know why this map is not showing the rest of them. Yeah, we have Culver's here. Oh, shit. Fucker. How do you get the live chat out of there? There we go. Yeah, we have Culver's here. There's one right by me. No, I'm not pumping. I'm up here. There we go. There we go. North Palm. There we go. North Palm. Culver's right here. There's another one on Military Boulevard. But I'm not impressed by Culver's. Culver's is, they just got ice cream and burgers. So, like, legit diarrhea. Like, you're like, hey, can I go to Culver's and get a diarrhea burger with, like, a milkshake? Yep, here you go. So this is basically Culver's in a nutshell. Yeah. Fuck. Holy shit. Yeah, this is the sound right here when you go into a Culver's. Yeah, can I get a number 3? It's a little dark. Yeah. Yeah, so it's shit. Culver's is diarrhea city. Like if you go there and buy like a burger and like a shake, Bebop's is better. I'm about to catch the smoke from the entire chat, but KFC is the only. I have not had KFC, Popeyes, McDonald's, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Chipotle in months. I did have Bole yesterday. There's Bole's here. I like the Bole. Theo, out of curiosity, nowadays, would you say an 07 or 09 GT500 would be the best bang for your buck, stick card to run 9s, or would it be base Gen 1 with a 2.3? Well, you still have to upgrade many things on the 07 to 09 GT500 to run 9s. Your clutch, your blower, throttle body, cold air, tune, headers, and you have a inferior motor. It's a good motor, makes good torque. Okay. Can you go 9s easier with a 07 to 09 GT500 than a Gen 1 Coyote? Yes, absolutely, because you don't got to replace the motor. KFC hasn't been decent in 15 years. I thought Culver's was a Midwest thing. I like tenderloin. She probably had a wild kid with an afro. White Castle in Florida, best drunk burgers. I think there is White Castles in Florida. White Castle. Near me? near me. Maybe not. Maybe there's no White Castle near me. There's one in Orlando. That's it. So that tells you where we're at with there. But we're going to have like 4 Buc-ee's here. Patty Melt, Neapolitan, Whataburger's also trash. Absolutely trash. At least you got good taste in cars. Nice. Popeyes, Cajun fries are amazing. 11 to 12 GT500 370s will be a good bang for your buck. I agree. Phil, that might happen. If I get rid of my 11 to 14, I'm sorry, my 14, what the fuck am I talking about? I might get a 12 performance pack GT500 and fuck around and just don't do anything to the motor. Just E85, TVS, cold air, clutch, fuck around and find out. There's nothing wrong with the Lord's Chicken, better than Raising Cane's. Has anyone had in and out? Good looking, maybe not good performing. All right, we got into food stuff. Okay, so let's wrap up this show. We got 3 minutes left. The disassembly video on the 6R80, I think it's important to highlight experts in the field, and there is no better expert in the field of 6R80 or Ford transmissions than Jacob Power by the Hour. You will see in the video where he is talking about the parts that we have to upgrade or that I want to upgrade. He will tell you how they fail, how the fix affects the performance, how the Lund Racing Grey Goose helped develop the pump. He'll tell you what he does to upgrade the pump. He'll tell you what he does to upgrade the drum. He'll tell you what he does and the theory and the thought process of this failed on this part because of this. And he's going to also show you, I think is the one-way reverse or something like that, or the fourth gear thing that Blue Streak sells as a unit that shows you the difference between the stock clutch, what do you call it? Width, I guess, if you want to call it. Surface area. There is more surface area on the Blue Streak. I think it's called the one way, or I forget what it's called, but you will see it in the video that drops tomorrow at 4:30. We're going to basically outline the parts that Donnie's going to get. 6R80 badass, Billy badass billet stuff. Once that goes in and I do my thing, I think it'll go 11s now that it's cooler out. DA Warrior for Florida. And then I'm going to go ahead and get complete suspension from Team Z and a drive shaft and a trans brake. Go out there, test it again, probably get an 11.7 out of it, maybe 11.6. And then we're going to slap a blower on it. I probably will put oil pump gears and crank sprocket just in case, because this car might go 9s with the stock motor. We're going to look for a Gen 2 Roush supercharger for it. But again, no rush. I have a heat exchanger already here, so I'm literally a blower kit and maybe a small in-engine ice tank away from having everything I need to make Donnie go, into the high 9s on the stock motor. Once I do that on the stock motor, that stock motor comes out. And I got to put a built bottom end or a Gen 3 bottom end motor in there. Jake already has a motor ready and waiting for me. So it's just a matter of putting it in there, and you can turn it up to whatever you want. Yes, fuel system. Yes, all that stuff is going to get installed. I'm going to try. It's going to be very difficult to get all this done in about 5 months, but I don't want to run out of winter time before I can get this thing into the 9.0 range. If we can do that and get it sold by the summer, life's good. And that would be a nice little way of showing what the future of the channel could look like by having like a build series come to life and show you what you can do with the parts and the right people behind your back. I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday for Talking Shit Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I love seeing the Dodgers beat the Yankees. I was very happy to see that. So shout out to the people who are in the West Coast that are enjoying that. But they're going to come back to New York, so those ghosts show up. But I'm hoping that they get them the fuck out of there, because fuck the Yankees. All right, have a good rest of your day. I will see you guys on Tuesday for Talking Shit Tuesday. See ya.